I accidentally discovered my Uber driver was a billionaire. What happened next? Change how I think about success forever. Last month, I ordered an Uber after a disastrous job interview downtown. I was soaking wet from unexpected rain, my portfolio was ruined, and I was fighting back tears. The app showed my driver was Mike with a 4.98 rating, driving a Honda Stexifida. When the car pulled up, I was surprised to see an older man, maybe in his 60s, with silver hair and reading glasses hanging from a cord around his neck. He looked more like someone's kind grandfather than a typical Uber driver. Rough day, he asked as I slid into the back seat. My monsieur definitely running. Something about his gentle tone broke me. I ended up telling him everything, how I'd spent weeks preparing for this interview at a prestigious marketing firm, how the creative director had barely looked at my work, how I was 3 months behind on rent and desperately needed this job. Mind if I take a slightly longer route? Mike asked. No extra charge, just want to show you something. I agreed, and he drove us through an upscale neighborhood before stopping in front of an imposing glass building with Westlake and Jerseys on the front. 27 years ago, I interviewed in that building, Mike said. The CEO told me my ideas were derivative and that I lacked vision. It was the 5th rejection that month. He put the car in drive again and continued. I was living in my car by that point, had about $40 to my name. As we drove, Mike told me how he'd eventually landed a small marketing job, saved enough to start his own business, and slowly built it into something substantial. I assumed he meant a comfortable retirement. Then he said something that made me drop my phone. Last year, I sold my company for just over $2 billion. I stared at him. If you are a billionaire, why are you driving an Uber? He laughed. I drive 2 days a week, keeps me connected to real people, real stories. Success can create a dangerous bubble if you let it. When we reached my apartment, I asked why he drove a Honda if he could afford any car in the world. This car has everything I need, he said simply. Comfort, reliability, good gas mileage. What would a Ferrari add except other people's admiration? And that's the emptiest currency there is. Before I got out, he handed me his business card, not an Uber card, but one with just his name and email. Send me your portfolio tonight. I still know people at every major agency in this city. 3 weeks later, I started my new job at one of the top creative agencies in the country. The creative director mentioned that an old friend had recommended me. I still take Ubers, but I've never matched with Mike again. Sometimes I wonder if other passengers know they're sharing a car with a billionaire, or if, like true wealth, true success is often invisible to those trained to look for its symbols rather than its substance.